So, Michael, that's what he was all about, making a change. And when we do that, that love that we send out today, that's really going to be a big part of how can we change the planet when we're just one little person, you know? So, right now, I have my guest here, and her name is Denine Savage, and she is a healer and teacher and shaman and channel. And she has developed a process called the evolutionary process, which refers to the process underway of integrating higher vibrating energy into our fields and bodies. This requires transmuting denser energies as we allow more enlightening to occur with us. It teaches tools to be in loving presence with oneself to support balance and well-being. Hands-on techniques employ the self-connecting mechanism inherent in the water of the body to create flow and harmony. And she uses a lot of different techniques in her own practice. So she works individually. She does individual sessions with people, private sessions, using integrative manual therapy, which is really amazing. I've experienced all this firsthand. And then she uses process acupressure, tuning fork attunements, and other techniques that she's done or developed. So welcome, Denine. Oh, wait, hold on. Your mic's not on. Okay, there we go.
Great. Hi, I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, it's really nice to have you here. So I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about, I know that you're going to be coming back, and I know you teach these techniques all over the place. Yeah. So we're hoping to have you come back and teach as well as do more private sessions.
Well, that would be wonderful. I'd love to do an evolutionary process class here when I come next.
Yeah, and Denine used to be on Maui, and she moved, Spirit guided her to move to Tennessee, and now she's moving again, and because she really listens. But would you tell us a little bit about how you came to get involved with healing at all in the first place, and what you started out with to develop this process?
I started out in a more traditional vein as a physical therapist and was really fascinated and interested in healing. So I got trained as a physical therapist, started working in the hospital at Yale in New Haven, Connecticut, and learned and saw a lot of things there, and also had some frustration on a personal level and professional because I felt like I had really bad neck problems and back problems that I was trying to deal with myself at the time. And also I was seeing people with very serious things in the hospital. And I felt like a lot of the traditional physical therapy was about just learning to manage, with things as they were. And I wanted to be able to both receive and give much more than that. Mm-hmm. So that led me to start taking the integrated manual courses, which were wonderful. And I basically got treated for a long time because they were able to heal my neck and back.
So what is integrative manual therapy?
Yes. Sharon Weiselfish, Giammatteo, developed it. It consists of many things. It's a systems approach to healing the body, very holistic. There's mapping techniques so that you can go over the whole body and find, well, where are there problems? You're using the rhythms within the fascial system to do that. So it will tell you, there's a problem at the liver, there's a problem at the head in a particular place, or whatever. And then we use systematic techniques to treat those areas. So we might be working to get the liver functioning at a higher physiological level. We might be working with kidneys, any of these visceral things. There might be fascial dysfunctions or nervous system disorder. So really, we just have techniques in integrated manual therapy to address any of that.
Right, and I have worked with someone else before I met you who, she was so sensitive. I feel that this technique creates such a sensitivity in the practitioner that she could feel the valves in the veins that were blocked or not blocked.
Yes.
It's like your sensitivity is so incredible by the time you're done with this work.
Yeah. The integrative manual therapy, you learn very intimately all the anatomy so that I can feel after years of doing it. I mean, you develop that sense slowly over time in your hands. In the beginning, I did it almost like a cookbook and wondered, when will I start to feel something? And now, I'm very good at feeling the rhythms all over the body, and you can feel an artery has a flexion and extension rhythm, for example. And if that's not happening, you can feel where maybe it's stuck somewhere or impinged, and you can release that then using those rhythms, where there's an inherent self-correction ability within the rhythms. So we ride that almost like a surfer on a wave to open up and release things and improve flow.
So when you're doing this, you're working with the person and the body. You're connecting with that rhythm and that wisdom of the body to assist it in going back by what you're doing with your hands or your intention or
yes,
what?
With
Exactly.
your hands, and certainly intention is very important. Intention is huge. So I do myself connect with a team of guides and with my higher self, and I invite the person to really engage with that too. And often I'll give a person some visualization to do. So if I'm perceiving one of these blocks or tight places, or they might be reporting to me, it hurts here, or what, there's a problem here. And then so we work together, we really combine, and I find it works much more powerfully. Also, what you were saying about the sensitivity, a person who gets treated with this work, they become more sensitive to what's happening in their body. And that's beautiful to see people who may not have very good body awareness. And especially if a person's had pain for a long time, you sort of pull out of your body. It's no fun to be in there when it's hurting. And so to get treated in this way, you can get back in your body and begin to really feel things again, which is a lovely, we have this beautiful vehicle, our body, to be in. And often, we sort of check out of it because it's not feeling good, and it feels wonderful to be in your body and feel your body.
Right. Well, I remember when I went to see you over on Maui, and there was a client there who was having very serious liver issues and had been to the physician, and you worked in a PT clinic at that time, and they had felt like there was nothing that they could do to help this person, and you using these techniques and all the different things that you do change that person's life. Right.
She had gone into liver failure, and there really wasn't something that she wasn't able to get help for, that other than to use medications, and she was opting not to go that route in her particular case. And so she did very well. The liver is an amazing, responsive, regenerative organ. And with a little bit of help with these integrative techniques, you can really, in most cases, fully restore flow. It takes some hours of treatment. It takes some doing if it's really gone far down the road. But it really can be so improved. And that then, of course, changes the way your entire body is functioning.
Now, can you you're going back to Tennessee, and then I know you're moving to Connecticut, and you'll be coming back and forth, but can you do your work over Skype or over the phone to help, people on even in this serious level of health?
I do phone sessions now, and so the phone sessions are, it is distance healing. I work with some streams of light and some guides, and I'm able to see, and we work again together. I really engage the person to join with me, and I will teach people practices and give some advice in terms of what is being recommended for either diet or a flower essence or a daily practice to further the healing. So energetically, in this way, a lot can be done physically. And sometimes I do tell someone they really need to have some hands-on work. There's a place for that when things have really gotten lodged in the physicality.
Right. So if you want to know more about this process, we're going to interrupt for a minute. You would go to evolutionaryprocess.com, or is it also DenineSavage.com? Is there a site for that?
It is under evolutionaryprocess.com. And on the homepage of my site, I have a free blog, which I put an entry in about once a week that's just a little healing visualization. You can sign up for it. It's free.
Mm-hmm. Great. So right now you're listening to KKCR Hanalei, KAQA Kilauea, and it's 12:33, and we're listening to Denine Savage talk about her techniques. So in your own development of evolutionary process, what does that consist of? And
right. Well, what led up to that was after getting this healing myself in the integrated manual therapy and working as a physical therapist doing that, I went and pursued getting certified in something called process acupressure, which is a lovely practice Amina Rahim created to move energetic blocks from emotion and really connect with soul using acupressure techniques. And she has some wonderful formulas with which to use this with the body. And she also does this in sacred places. So I had some personal experiences attending those classes out in the desert, actually in Borrego in California, the Anza Borrego Desert. And I had some visions that opened up a part of me that just kind of blew open. And that is when I began to see both the grid, the electromagnetic grid of the body and of the earth, and how we can work within that to create healing and health. So that's how the evolutionary process began, was through those experiences.
So when you're teaching it, how long is the course, and are there different levels that you have to go through? And
there are, yes. Evolutionary Process 1 is 4 days, and it's listed on my website. The 1 and the 2, it's lots of details about what's involved. But in the first one, we learn to feel these rhythms. It's tuning into that water, and anybody who's taken cranial sacral therapy is familiar with that. But even if you have not, the watery rhythms are everywhere. Each different substance has these rhythms of self-correction. So a person can learn to do this. If you know a lot of anatomy and a lot of physiology and you've taken craniosacral, you can do this at a deeper level, but a lay person can do this and treat themselves very beautifully, or family members, just by learning to find that watery place. And you don't have to label it, well, that's an artery or that's the liver.
Right.
So we can sort of teach it to whatever group would like to take it. I do professional groups or lay people a little differently.
And I have experienced your work actually quite a few times, and my experience is it's been so amazing, and it's very expanding. And if you have physical issues, they begin to resolve really quickly. Yeah. So I definitely recommend this. It's a wonderful technique. Yeah. So you're on the island. I know you're not doing any more sessions, but
right.
when you come to Kauai, what does Kauai do for you in your healing?
I love Kauai. I love Maui. I lived there for 3.5 years, but as I was sharing with you earlier, Maui is really got a lot of intense, crazy energy on it.
Right now?
Right now. It's, part of the whole ascension process. We're right in the middle of the Ring of Fire. Haleakala is such a powerful power point on the earth. And so, it's a lot of energy, a lot of change taking place. And so it's a little exhausting over there for me, which is really part of the reason they sent me to the Great Smoky Mountains for a little while, which has been amazing. Very stable and deep ancient energy. Here on Kauai, it's such a watery place and so soft, a very soft energy I encounter here. And so it's visually just beautiful, and I experience wonderful fields of light here that are restorative, inspiring, and just wonderful to spend time in. I always feel like I regain a childlike joy of living here.
That's great. That's what we all need to remember,
Yeah.
to have that joy of living while we're here.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. It's really great
Thank you,
to have
Tosh.
you here, and we look forward to you coming back and doing one of your workshops with us.